The thin line between assertive leadership and toxic tendencies, understanding and overcoming dysfunctional dynamics abstract. This article explores the delicate balance between effective and toxic leadership in organizational settings, drawing on extensive research and professional experience. It examines how seemingly well-intentioned leaders can inadvertently cross into destructive behaviors that undermine morale and organizational health. The article identifies key factors contributing to toxic leadership, including outdated management paradigms, stress, emotional intelligence deficits, and inappropriate promotion criteria, while documenting the substantial economic and human costs of such toxicity. Beyond merely diagnosing the problem, the article offers practical strategies for both individuals and organizations to prevent and remediate toxic behaviors, emphasizing self-awareness, emotional agility, growth mindset, and systemic cultural changes. Through industry-specific examples and evidence-based interventions, the piece ultimately advocates for a collaborative approach to cultivating psychologically safe environments that maximize human potential and organizational performance. Leadership is an intricate balancing act that requires navigating complexity with care, concern, and competence. Throughout my years as an organizational consultant and researcher, I have observed many effective leaders who motivate teams through inspiration, empowerment, and ethical example. However, I have also witnessed the subtleties of toxic leadership tendencies, where the drive for results overrides respect for people. Today we will explore how to avoid crossing that thin line, by unpacking the research on toxic traits and offering strategies to cultivate a healthier culture. Defining toxic leadership before addressing solutions. It is important to properly diagnose the problem. Scholars define toxic leadership as a process that involves behaviors or practices that constituents perceive as socially destructive and which systematically undermine the organization's morale, well-being, and professionalism. Lichtman-Blumen, 2005. p. 18. Toxic leaders display an inflated ego, poor empathy, and an authoritarian management style focused solely on short-term gains rather than long-term well-being. Kashyap and Rangnikar. 2020. They crave control and credit while casting blame, and their actions intentionally or unintentionally damage workplace relationships and trust. The roots of toxic tendencies. While bad intentions can play a role in some cases, the roots of toxic leadership are often more complex. Research identifies several factors that can unconsciously foster unproductive behaviors in otherwise capable leaders. Reed. 2004. For example, outdated paradigms. Some cling to command and control mindsets no longer suited to today's collaborative knowledge work. Pressure and stress, unrealistic expectations, long hours, and survival mentalities distort healthy decision-making under pressure. Emotional intelligence deficits, lower self-awareness and social skills make it harder to connect, empower others, and manage reactions constructively. Situational triggers. Certain environments normalize aggression, undermining support systems and work-life balance. Personnel issues. Toxic leaders often emerge when promotions are based more on technical competence than leadership fit. So while some tragically abuse power knowingly, many toxic tendencies stem from unresolved internal struggles playing out externally without self-aware intervention. Understanding these organizational and psychological dynamics is key to prevention and remediation. The costs of toxicity. Toxic leadership extracts heavy tolls. Research shows dysfunctional leaders drain approximately $23 billion a year from the U.S. economy alone via counterproductive behaviors, reduced performance, and high turnover. Matthew, Newman, Hare, and Babyak, 2014. Specific costs include talent drain, great people leave or withdraw, effort to escape toxicity, taking institutional knowledge, relationships, and future potential with them. Hidden health issues. Toxic stress negatively impacts mental, physical well-being, leading to rising absenteeism, medical costs, and reduced productivity over the long run. Skogstad et al. 2014. Lower trust and engagement. Employees perform best in psychologically safe communities where they feel respected, supported, and empowered to develop, which toxicity breaks down. Compliance risks. Unethical practices easily spread in toxic cultures, increasing legal regulatory exposures if left unaddressed. Reputational harm. Word spreads of dysfunction internally and externally, damaging employer brands and public standing. Lichtman-Blumen. 2006. Given these consequences, organizations must act urgently yet judiciously to protect vital assets from toxicity's corrosive effects. Preventing damage upfront through proactive culture building ranks as the wisest long-term strategy. Overcoming toxic tendencies. There is hope. While personality deficits make some toxic leaders unsuitable for key roles long-term, many toxic behaviors stem from correctable blind spots rather than bad character. Transforming an unproductive dynamic starts with the self. Build self-awareness. Commit to introspection through multi-source, 360 feedback. Journaling triggers reactions, and leadership assessments. Seek feedback openly and coach helpers compassionately to grow. Gilead. 2009. Focus on impact, not intent. Toxicity stems from how others experience your actions, not intentions alone. Validate others' perspectives sincerely to build empathy. Shine and Shine, 2018. Cultivate emotional agility. Manage tensions productively using skills like active listening, reframing conflicts positively, and viewing stress as a challenge rather than a threat. David and Congleton. 2013. Adopt a growth mindset. Seek continuous learning in areas needing development with an open, humble attitude. Surround yourself with diverse mentors committed to your long-term betterment. Prioritize well-being under stressful conditions. Toxic reactions often arise from unresolved issues elsewhere in life. Maintain perspective through practices such as mindfulness, exercise, and renewal. Kashyap and Rangnikar, 2020. Seeking to develop long-term is key. Single interventions cannot rewire deep mindsets. Committing to an ongoing voyage of self-discovery and service transforms old patterns into constructive leadership over time. Cultivating healthy cultures while leaders set the tone. Toxicity and well-being result from shared responsibilities. Organizations play a crucial supportive role through policies, systems, and inclusive practices that establish clear behavioral expectations and consequences via codes of conduct formally endorsed from the top. Invest in manager training, mentoring networks, and organizational development to modernize norms and promote diverse leadership styles. Embed 360-degree feedback, skip-level meetings, and dynamic succession planning to surface issues early for coaching, not punishment. Empower diverse employee resource groups to advise on issues and champion inclusion. Wellness and work-life integration company-wide. Adopt flexible work arrangements, career development programs, and recognition tailored to today's multifaceted, purpose-driven professionals. Mackey et al. 2020. With unified commitment across levels, even the most unstable cultures can transform into models of respect, empowerment, and fulfilling work over time, cultivating maximum well-being and performance naturally as happy byproducts. Nielsen and Morone. 2018. Industry examples. Technology firms face unique strains due to fast growth, hyper-competition, and move fast and break things mindsets empowering some toxic behaviors. Invernizzi. 2016. Companies like Google and Microsoft proactively mitigate risks through initiatives like customized coach training to assure consistency across diverse managers worldwide. Required cultural awareness and inclusion certification at all levels followed by periodic refreshers. Anonymous workplace surveys, scorecards, and action planning to surface issues and ensure progress. Meanwhile, in healthcare grappling with bureaucracy, regulation and burnout, leaders like the Cleveland Clinic foster wellness through holistic strategies such as system-wide transformation units guiding customized interventions at facilities and clinical levels. On-site health clinics, counseling and intensive well-being education, coaching for all employees. Rewards recognizing managers who mentor colleagues using trauma-informed, compassionate care approaches. No solution perfectly prevents all toxic incidents. However, with vigilance and positivity, even high-pressure industries can offset inherent strains and become employers of choice through humanity-centered cultures. Conclusion: while certain personality deficits require leadership changes, addressing underlying triggers offers the most sustainable solution. With an open and growth-focused approach, leaders and organizations can collaboratively cultivate psychologically safe, empowering and fulfilling cultures maximizing human potential. Mistakes will happen. The sign of true progress lies in learning from missteps with care, not blame. May we all commit to ongoing self and shared discovery with courage, wisdom and service as our guides.